on this morning and just see if anyone's out there catching me, and if you are, to feel free to ask me some questions. I've changed the title of this live stream so many times I can't remember what I put up last. I believe empathy and sixth sense. What is being empathic? Earlier I watched a video and it described things the way that I kind of visualize it. So imagine like a great big huge, a beautiful flower, all right? And there's seeds that drop out of the center of the flower, right? We're each a seed from the big flower, the big pool, or a droplet, whatever. Your drop, your seed, your arm of the octopus, however you want to visualize it, has its own perspective, its own views, its own taking in and interpreting of information. So you have been taking in and interpreting information and making up a library of beliefs from the time you got here, okay? What an empath can do is to take themselves out of their own drop, their own leg of the octopus, their own seed of the flower, go back up into the main, releasing everything that they've picked up and, made their library of information and experiences. Step out of that and then to be empty and go into the other person's experience. See what they see from their perspective, based on their experiences, their emotions, to feel what they feel because of their past and their history, to quite literally become them. It's a skill, it's a gift. When you can do it, you just think everyone does it, right? When this is part of who you are an empath. You are having the ability to be empathic. That is an ability to be able to do that. And now to be able to correspond and relate to the person from your heart center based on what you're able to do is a very, very powerful healing body of knowledge. If I know how you feel when you hear a certain phrase or see certain things or in a certain situation, it's easier for me when I can go up to the great pool of information to bring you the words that will assist, that will help you be able to look at your situation from another perspective, one that will be more helpful, one that may be more healing, one that will cause some peace, maybe even some joy, to look at things from another perspective. Now, we all have the ability to look at things from another perspective, but we don't always use this skill. We get set in our ways and our beliefs, and when we're rigid in any way, it does not serve us. Rigidity causes us to become brittle. Just, think of being a flexible, flowing river. Or the rock. The river's just going to flow over the rocks. Keep on going. Merrily, 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 gently down the stream. Right? So the more flowing and flexible you can be in your thinking and in your beliefs, be open and flexible to go and try and experience it from another perspective. Being steadfast and rigid and going, there's only one way that's right to look and see and operate from, puts you in a very, very less than life. Because it's like, imagine being a tree and you plant your roots and your beliefs and this is it, this is all, okay? And as opposed to being a wildflower and going out there and seeing the world from various perspectives, letting the wind pick you up and look at it from over here, letting the rain water you and nourish you in another area, and seeing how things are done there. It's such a great, vast opening of an experience in your life if we are willing to put down our beliefs and knowings and our rigidity and being flexible enough to understand and believe, plant the seed of belief that it's possible. It's possible that there's more than one way to do something, to see something, to have, become, achieve something. Of course, there's more than one way. There is over 7 billion beings, human beings on the planet, not to mention the vast numerous other beings on the planet that are affecting us. We're all part of this great big huge pool of experiences. And not one of us has experienced life the way the other person has. So to think that your way and your view and your perspective is right and everybody else's is wrong is insane. And it's a formula for dis-ease between you and all of your relationships. There is no right. There is no wrong. There just is multifaceted views and perspectives and experiences. So depending on where your view and perspective is will depend on your experience at the time. We could both be going through an exact same experience and not experience it the same way. We could both be standing beside each other on a stage and the curtain's about to go up and there's a huge audience of people there waiting to hear what you gotta say, you and me. One of us will describe what goes on in the body, those feelings as butterflies, as nausea, as what excitement or exhilaration will be the same sensations going on. But what label will you attach to it? What label will I attach to it? Stage fright? Fear? Excitement? Finally getting to have an audience? It would depend on you, on what we're talking about, on what the audience came to hear, on your past experiences, on my past experiences. There's a different way to look at every situation, and to be an empathic gives us the power and the compassion to take ourselves out of our own and put ourselves into somebody else's and have a little sensitivity and compassion. And it's from that space that I deliver my messages to people. Um, it's because I am so perceptive and able to, at the drop of a hat, like take myself out of my world and into another person's world. Like it's instant. It happens all the time. And it's like I can see, whoa, that person's really uncomfortable with that situation over there, and who they you know, and then poof, jump back into myself and know exactly what that person needs to hear and feel to ease their discomfort. And poof, I offer it up. I do it in public with strangers. I do it all the time. And for example, I can see uncomfortable situation going on between two people, and I go walk over and jump into the conversation and intercede with some humor or a direct, different perspective of looking at the situation that involves humor, that instantly releases tension. When I go to the grocery store, I look for the long lineup with the new cashier. That's the line I get into. Why? Because that cashier's soul is screaming for help. Help. They're stressed. They're overwhelmed. They're feeling, ah! And then they're picking up the impatience of the people in the line. So I get into that lineup and I start changing the energy of everyone in that lineup because I know I have the power to do so. I get there, the cashier's all, I'm sorry for the wait, and, blah, 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 doing their speech and routine that the store's telling them they have to do. Which, by the way, all of you people running stores, is inhuman. Stop getting them to do your sales spiel. Let them have a face-to-face, one-on-one human interaction. Stop selling us, cramming stuff down our throats all the time and turning human interactions into robot interactions. Step one, for those of you who are store owners and running big businesses. It's time for the chains to stop their chains. Chains keep us chained. We need release. Okay, back to the cashier story. I tend to get off track sometimes. But that person, as soon as they start to apologize, I'm like, whoa, hey, calm down, calm down. I can see you're new. Relax. We all have a first day. We're all new at our jobs at some point, and the best thing to have on a new day and a new job is a friendly, understanding face. Because I know when I'm doing a new job, that's what I want. I want understanding people and patient people to understand that, I'm new and, give me a break here. I'm doing the best I can. Somewhere out there, somewhere, my daughter may be having her first day being new somewhere, and I would hope that she would meet up with patient and kind and understanding people who know what it's like to be new. And as I do that, the person who is, a moment ago impatient behind me is listening, and now is like, oh, well, they don't want to be the impatient asshole for the cashier who's on their new day after what they just heard from me, now do they? No. So we have instantly changed the trend of, oh, I get to be bitchy because the cashier was so slow, I have a right to complain attitude out of the lineup. Poof. Let's shift those egos. Let's shift that energy. Let's shift the chain reaction into a better one. We are powerful, so powerful that we can stop a train like that with a smile, with our intention. So rather than being a victim of being having these gifts, which quite often in my life I took on the victim role. Many of us do take on the victim role, and oh, sorry, I'm just checking here to see if this I should be watching. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, I think I got the chat thing on. um, Using your power for good and understanding this gift of empathy, that when you have the ability to understand what someone's going through, we also have the ability to get back into our own power and assist that being who's struggling and going through a difficult time. So I'm going to end this live stream. I'm just basically kind of practicing with the live streaming encoding software and stuff, which is challenging me to learn new things that will help me be more available out there. So next one, I'm going to probably schedule the event so that more people can tune in and chat and ask me questions. I want to be more available for the asking of questions one-on-one. Coming out of the spiritual closet, waking up your gifts, whatever types of questions you have that you feel I may be able to answer for you in a way that another person hasn't been able to quite explain it to you in a way that you really got it yet. All right, so I'm willing to try anything, so feel free to post your questions below this video, and I will be reading the comments that are put on, and I do wish to help answer them, and perhaps maybe we can chat online live next time. You'll catch me one-on-one, and I'll answer the people's questions. I don't know what you want to know from me. I'm offering to answer your weird, woo-woo, strange, sixth sense, perhaps trying to figure out what a dream means. Found out I'm pretty good at that. Resolving